I saw the parents of a Muslim soldier, of an Iraqi veteran who gave his life to defend this country, to defend his people, to defend his fellow soldiers. The more I see it, the more I see Donald Trump and his ignorance, his hate, his foolishness, his arrogance, his unconstitutional, unpatriotic view of the United States. The angrier I get, the more disgusted I get, and the more disturbed I get at the future of this country. I was talking with my dad today about how I would convince a Bernie or bust Bernie supporter to vote for Hillary Clinton in the general election. And I can't. I truly can't. But I can say everything vile, everything disgusting, everything vicious and evil about the person she is running against. When I see Donald Trump, when I see him speak, I see a man that doesn't give a shit about this country. I see a man that doesn't give a damn about the Constitution. I see someone that doesn't care about the values of this country, that doesn't give a shit about what it means to be an American, that doesn't give a shit about patriotism, that doesn't give a shit about diversity in this country. That's what I see. I see a man that is so horrid and evil that I can't even quantify. I do see the next Benito Mussolini with Donald Trump. I see a nationalist in power when I look at Trump. I saw and read about what nationalism did to the United States after 9/11. I'm only seeing that increase with Trump and his ignorance and what he says. Donald Trump is one of the most arrogant. Donald Trump is a fascist. And I'm not taking that back. I will never take that statement back. I will never take that video down about him being a fascist. I have read Mussolini's rise to power. I have seen Donald Trump's rise to the presidency. It's very similar. The man uses left-wing ideals, such as being against free trade and being against the standardized test system. And yet the man disguises this left-wing populism with a vile underlying savageness. Trump talks about repealing the TPP. Trump talks about being against the TPP. Then why are his clothes made in foreign countries? Why does he exploit and take the riches of previous free trade deals? Why does he praise free trade to begin with? Why? If you were so against it, why would you continue it, support it in your businesses? To be against the TPP is to be against all forms of free trade. Because what free trade does is that it hurts people in this country. It hurts workers in the United States. It hurts and destroys American jobs. And I wouldn't put it past you to put the TPP in place on day one. I have no faith that you would ever be against the TPP, even if you say it. Because if you were truly against it, why pick a running mate that was for it? If you were truly against the Iraq War, why pick a running mate that supported the Iraq War? If you think the Iraq War was such a fucking mistake, which it was, then why be against the Geneva Convention? Why insult international law? If you claim to be the law and order candidate, then why do you choose so willingly and encourage the United States to defy the highest rule of law in the world, international law, the Geneva Convention? Without the Geneva Convention, Donald, the Red Cross couldn't do shit in other countries. You do know that, right? Right? Oh, wait. You probably skimmed it. No, you probably didn't even skim it. You probably just looked at it, saw how many pages it was, and went, fuck this, I'm not gonna read this shit. I gotta bullshit the American people. I gotta talk down about this country. I gotta pretend that I'm gonna make it great again, even though in reality, I'm gonna make it worse by making it more xenophobic. I've seen what Brexit did to the UK. I've seen the horrors of what it did to the UK. I am not willing to deal with that shit here. I'm not willing to let my country go through the rise of fascism. We've already been a part of the rise of fascism since the Patriot Act was signed into law. I refuse to believe that you would get rid of the NSA. You would encourage it. You believe in keeping Guantanamo Bay open. That's not the president I want. That's not the person I want in the White House. That is not the person I want to be anywhere near the nuclear button. That's not someone I want to be making executive decisions in this country. I don't trust you as far as I can fucking throw you, you fucking piece of shit. I don't trust a man that exploited his workers. I don't trust a man that tried to ban unions. I don't trust a man that has a blacklist of press organizations. I don't trust a man that censors his Reddit page from criticism. I don't trust that pussy in power, that actor in power. Now, does that mean I trust Hillary Clinton? Not entirely. I said this in my last video, talking about the election, and I will say it here. Hillary Clinton has been proven to be a liar. Hillary Clinton is on record with flip-flopping drastically in her career. Hillary Clinton and the Clinton Foundation have some very shady shit. But the thing is, Donald, you have some even more shady shit. I'm sure that New Yorker interview with your ghostwriter didn't say all of the shady shit you took part in. I trust your ghostwriter more than I trust you. You are an arrogant fascist. You do not care about the American people. All you care about is being in power, being a figurehead. All you want is the name and the title. All you want is to destroy our freedoms with the promise of populism. Well, guess what, Donald? I'm too smart to fall for your shit. I gave my support to Senator Sanders because he was a good man. Because his record proved how honest of a man he was. Because his 30 years in Congress was all the evidence I needed for saying this is the man that I want to be in the Oval Office making executive decisions. This is the man I want. And your supporter saying that, oh, you didn't have a job till he was 40. Big fucking deal. Past that, he voted down and was against some of the worst legislation in this country's history. and he voted for bills that helped the American people, and he knows how the government works, whereas you only know how to fuck people over with the title of the deal. You are the master of fucking people over. And the master of deception. When people call you an idiot, I say no. I call you a political genius, a Machiavellian scholar. Because you do know how this game is played. And I wouldn't put it past you to, oh, how do we say this? To put martial law in place if another 9/11 happens. To waste our infrastructure money on your wall. To send millions and millions of innocent Muslims back to countries that they left out of fear. To turn away refugees that just want a peaceful place to live. That saw the Statue of Liberty, as my great-grandparents did, as a symbol of hope. You destroy the principles of this country, you destroy the ideals of this country, and you are a joke. And you are more of an insult to this country than George W. Bush was. Fuck you, Mr. Trump. Fuck you and your arrogance. Now you may be wondering, why have I been calling Donald Trump a genuine fascist in all of these videos? I'll tell you why. Because an author who wrote a little book called The Anatomy of Fascism stated that he uses fascist-like tendencies. A man that spent decades and decades wording his book carefully. If you would like to buy this book, and it will be a link in the description, as well as the video stating Trump is a fascist. Believe me when I say my journey, my journalistic career is not over with you, Trump. My investigative reporting ain't over with you yet. I know what you are. I've seen your kind before. And you will not step foot in the White House. You will not place your hand on that Bible. I will not allow a man that questioned the president's place of birth to be his successor. Live long and prosper, and have a nice day. For those of you voting for Trump, think on your sins. Think about what you're doing to this country. Think about what you're about to put this country through.